What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to day 2 and hopefully the last day of detailing our S2000. Yesterday we got this whole entire driver's side done and the hood done as well, and it turned out absolutely amazing. Take a look at how shiny this paint is. It looks freaking beautiful. If all goes to plan, today we'll have the entire car done. We are not doing the front bumper or the passenger side fender. We will be repainting both of those, so there's no point in detailing them, making them all perfect, and then sanding all the paint off and repainting it. Let's go ahead and get this side back down on the ground, and then I think I'm gonna move on to the back. So let's start with the trunk lid. I think today I'm gonna do a little side-by-side comparison. How it is now, how it is after step 1, step 2, and step 3, just so we can see the actual difference every single step of the process makes. I think that'd be kind of interesting. I am gonna go ahead and pull off the brake light. The badge is gonna come off as well. Tail lights, we could probably leave the tail lights in. And this antenna, we might as well pop off. Looks like it's probably pretty easy to remove. So the more stuff you can take off, it always makes life a little bit easier. Okay, here she is, not under a flashlight. This is a before. This is step 1. This is step 1 and 2. And this is step 3, or 1, 2, and 3. Under light, it's a whole different ball game. That there is a before. There's the difference between before step 1. A lot of the scratches are out, still very hazy. 1 to 2 gets a little bit more clear. 1 and then 2 to 3 is the game changer. Like I was saying yesterday, I'm not a professional detailer, but this is what I found that works the best for me. Black cars have always been really tough for me, and I'm sure they're probably tough for everybody. Black or dark colored cars. If this car was white, it'd probably take half the time because a lot of the stuff we wouldn't really have to do. You can't see nearly as many defects on a light colored car. White, silver, anything like that. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, I'm using 3 3M compounds and 3 hex logic pads on a 6-inch Porter cable dual action buffer. Everything that I'm using will be linked down below. Let's go ahead, finish up the whole ass end of this car. We got the trunk, we got this piece up here that's got some fading going on. Hopefully we can get that cleaned up. And then of course we have the rear bumper as well. And then after that, all we're gonna have is this quarter panel and this door. Fender is a little bit rawnied. That is going to be fixed. Front bumper is really messed up, so we need to fix that as well. And it's only 10:30 in the morning right now. We are out here busting, we're cooking. I did decide I want to really clean up these windows too, so I'm going to attempt, if it's easy, to pull these things all the way out, just because it'd make life a little bit easier if they're laying down, get them nice and buffed up. This tint is pretty ugly. It's like tealish looking, so it'd be nice to get that redone. And then provided we actually keep the soft top on here, get that rear window tinted as well. And of course, just a nice light legal tint on the windshield. All right, so we just have the quarter and the door left. One thing I forgot to mention yesterday that is very important and helps a lot with how fast you can work is blowing the pads out. I use compressed air. I'm sure there's other ways to do it, like a tool or something, but I use compressed air, and let me show you guys how good this works. So here's what the pad looks like now. As you can see, it's full of old compound, dried up compound, and just a bunch of gunk, and it's not cutting very well. And here's how it looks after. So I'd recommend blowing your pads out every so often. They're gonna cut much better if they're clean. 10 hours yesterday, another 12 hours today, and we are 100% done buffing and polishing out the S2K. Minus, of course, the bumper and the fender. We'll get to that some other day, hopefully soon. The car does need a bath, and of course, we still have to ceramic coat it, which is the icing on the cake. But here's a quick little walk around of how she's looking right now. There's still compound on it in places, but overall, this thing is freaking gorgeous. I must say, it turned out better than expected. I did not think it was gonna look this good. There are some defects on it, but for the most part, it looks sick. It looks so good. It's so freaking shiny. Let's pull this thing outside. I really wanted to do a quick check in the sun, make sure we didn't have any swirls, or maybe just swirls. I can see all the deep scratches in here, but out in the sun is the true test. And of course, the one day that we need it to be warm and sunny outside, it has just been raining all freaking day. So there won't be any of that. I guess I'm gonna have to just trust myself that I did this properly. I've done it enough times on a black car to kind of know that it's gonna look good out in the sun. But if it doesn't, we'll be a little bit screwed because it's gonna be covered in ceramic coat. So let's hope and pray that it's gonna look mint. Let's get her outside, get it washed off very, very carefully so we don't put no more scratches in it. Then we're gonna have to pull it back inside the shop, get it 100% dry, and we can move on to getting this thing sealed up so it stays looking as good as possible for as long as possible. We got her all cleaned up, dried off. I blew every single crack and crevice out with compressed air because as soon as we apply the ceramic coat, we cannot get any sort of water or any sort of moisture on the coating until it's fully cured, which takes about 2 to 3 days, probably about 2 days with how warm it's been. So with that being said, you guys already know the product that we're gonna be using. If you've been following the channel for more than like a week, Avalon King Armor Shield 9. I use this stuff on every single car I've ever paint corrected. I use it on vinyl wrap cars. I use it on wheels. I use it on glass. Speaking of which, we have not fixed the glass on this car yet. We're gonna have to do that a different day because I'm gonna run out of time if I try to do it today. And I really wanna get this thing ceramic coated. So I'll have this link down below with our discount code to save you guys $25 off of a kit, which brings it all the way down to, I think, 45 bucks for a kit. I'm probably gonna use 2 kits on the entire car. I'm gonna do 2 coats on the entire car. Actually, it's pretty small. I guess we'll see. If I use 1 kit, that'd be cool. Seeing how I guess we don't have a roof, I probably will just use 1 entire kit. You don't necessarily have to do what we just did. I would recommend it because you don't want a ceramic coat over non-perfect looking paint. Unless you just want the ease of washing, you want all the beads and all that cool hydrophobic effect, and you don't necessarily care about protecting your paint, you can go ahead and just put it on your crusty car. But if you want it to look as best as possible, I would recommend taking the time, buffing it out, polishing it, and then very last step, ceramic coating. So let's jump into it. Very easy to do. Let's go ahead and bust out this fender. So the first thing we're gonna do is grab some diluted IPA. This is diluted down to 17% with distilled water. I noticed that if you use 100% or like even 85 or 70% IPA, it'll start leaving a little bit of streaks, which we don't want. So we're gonna wipe down the panel that we're gonna ceramic coat, and then we can coat it. Grab your ceramic coat, pop her open. You got a towel to wipe off the excess ceramic coat and a glove. So you take the applicator towel and wrap it around the sponge. There's a hard part and a soft part. We're gonna be wrapping around the soft part. And then you take the ceramic coat and you just drip it on the towel. Throw about 10 drips on there to get started because it's a new towel. And then every panel, I'm gonna throw some more ceramic coat on. We're gonna hit the entire fender in a vertical and horizontal motion, like that, just so we don't miss any areas. Let it dry for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we can go ahead and wipe it off. You guys see how it has that rainbow look to it? That means it is ready to be wiped off. After you wipe it off, you're done. If you're like me and are a little extra, a little OCD, you can go ahead and do 2 coats on the entire car. That is what I'm gonna do. 2 full coats on the entire car. In between each coat, I would recommend, and Avalon King recommends, to wait about an hour. So typically when I'm done with the first coat, it's pretty much ready. Actually not on this car because it's so tiny, but a typical car takes about an hour to do the whole entire thing. So as soon as I'm done with the last panel, I can then move on to the first panel, whip around the whole entire thing again, and we're done. It's pretty crazy that yesterday morning, we started out with the whole entire car looking like this, and now she looks like this. We just got done with the second coat of ceramic, and this thing is shining better than new. That's wild. 20-year-old paint, looking good as ever. Wonder how many hours that took. I'm very bad at math. What was that, 13 or 14 hours today, and what did I say, 10 hours yesterday? A little bit over 20 hours for this entire detail, and we're still not done because we still have to respray that front bumper and that fender. But I must say, it's definitely worth it in the end. Black is amazing when it's clean. When it looks like poop, it's not very amazing, but when it looks like that, you cannot freaking beat black paint. Everything that we use in this whole entire detail, I'll have linked down below. Very simple products, nothing crazy, nothing expensive. And then we went ahead and sealed it off with some Avalon King ceramic coat, which if you guys want to buy, my discount code is Devin25. It'll save you $25 off like I mentioned earlier. Pop a comment down below, boys. Let me know what you guys think of this detail. I think it turned out amazing. Really excited to see it out in the sun. Hopefully it doesn't have any swirls or any crazy like haziness or anything like that going on. I think we should be good. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out, my friends. I'll see you guys tomorrow.